Welcome back to another episode of On a Mission. I'm your host, Dr. Wendy Norfleet with Norfleet Integrated Solutions, and it is my pleasure to have with me today Laurie Lee with the legal department. And for anyone who has not heard of Laurie Lee, she is the small business lawyer extraordinaire. Welcome, Laurie.
Thank you for the kind words, Wendy. You're so sweet.
So, Laurie, obviously people got out of this when I said lawyer, legal department. They probably realized this is a legal law firm. So tell us a little bit about it.
Well, we're a little bit specialized. So for our law firm, we only focus on small businesses. We only do business law. And what that means is we're doing those things that small businesses need to have done on the legal side, not the litigation, not the massive, problem blow-ups. We do everything in advance. We help kind of smooth the way for businesses. And in addition to just being small businesses, several years ago, we just decided to focus on service-based small businesses.
Yay!
Yes. So those consultants and engineers and architects and lawyers and accountants, everybody who has a professional service,
Right.
They're relying on their reputation. They're regulated, licensed, educated. They have a lot on the line, and there's some special things in the law for them. So we switched gears and are just focused on small, service-based, professional practices, businesses.
Right. And there's a lot of contracts involved with that because I know how many that I go through, and they're each individual. I have to make sure I just
I can see your
night.
eyes glazing over. I know this feeling.
Yeah.
I geek out on contracts.
Yeah.
And I understand not everybody
right.
does.
But it's a lot involved, and you want to be protected, but you also to make sure that your clients know you have their best interests at heart. And walking that line sometimes is difficult.
It is. And so if you look at contracts less as a formality, as a form, I always say, don't say it's a form.
Right. I say it's agreement.
It's an agreement. Or you know what? Think of it as a relationship because that's what it is. It's just in writing. It's a relationship. It says, I'm going to do this. You're going to do that. Whatever the case may be. Maybe it's with independent contractors, vendors, clients, business partners. Those are all relationships. And those relationships can stay good when you have it in a contract.
Right. And what happens when you don't write it down? Because I've seen a couple of those too. I'm working with a client like that that's trying to recover from that.
Yes. So humans, we are interesting because our memories sometimes don't adequately reflect exactly what happened, and sometimes we just change our minds.
Right.
And so when we change our minds, that's okay, but you have to go back to the original agreement with someone. You and I agree this is what we're going to do, and I change my mind. We got to make sure we understand how that's going to work.
Right. So I know you do a lot with small businesses. So what made you kind of shift to the service base? Because I know you initially were working with all small businesses.
All small businesses, right. So with service businesses, the relationship doesn't end at the sale.
Right.
So it's not like someone's walking in, grabbing something off the rack and paying you and walking out the door. Service-based businesses, the relationship is ongoing. So usually the sale's up front, and then you have this lifelong relationship with your clients, but you're also relying on humans to provide the services.
Right.
So you've got the people outside your business with vendors and clients, but you have people inside your business that are actually doing the service.
Right.
So it's just a lot of more moving parts for service businesses than product-based businesses. And the other thing, I want to make sure I say is that, legal is just one component of a business.
Oh, yes.
Right? So you've got all these moving balls around this, game board, and your focus is on sales, your focus is on employees and team and marketing and all these different things. Legal is one of those pieces on the board. You don't have to focus on it all the time.
Right.
But what happens is people sometimes ignore that part, and then it builds up, and then now you've got a lot of stuff on legal that you need to get done.
All right.
So if you just realize that, you focus a little bit on legal, and as you go around and put your focus on different things, don't ignore that legal because it will come up and bite you.
Yeah, I think that can be said about a lot of the things that we use as small businesses, because I know I was talking to someone, my accountant and I are like this, but I don't worry about it because we kind of understand each other and know where each of us is supposed to do. But those are the things like the, a small business attorney or an accountant that you need to have that needs to be part of your team.
Right.
And I tell people all the time, your team is not always internal. It's somebody that they do this portion of whatever you need done.
And you don't talk to your accountant every day.
No, I don't.
And you don't need to talk to your
Right.
attorney every day, but you need to talk to them sometimes.
Right.
And if you ignore them for years on end, you've got yourself a mess that
Right.
now is going to be more expensive and time consuming. So I always tell small business owners, yeah, talk to your accountant on a regular basis, talk to your lawyer on a regular
Right.
basis, kind of put those things in place to make your business stronger and avoid the problems. And if you can't avoid the problems, if it's just going to happen, you want to minimize the impact on
Right.
your business by having things in place.
Right. And when you do that, it also usually helps you maintain your reputation also.
Which is a big deal for our
For
clients.
service, right.
That's
Service
right.
client.
Nobody wants to be embarrassed by a catastrophe.
Wow. I always love talking to you, and I've seen you in action talking around town at different events. But if someone wanted to learn more or potentially, say, I don't have a small business attorney, how do they contact you?
Our website is the best place. We've got lots of resources. We have lots of free resources for download for small business owners, and that is the legaldepartment.law. So that's a .law on the end.
Okay.
Not everybody can have one of those, so just law firms. So it's the legaldepartment.law.
All right. Laurie, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Wendy.
All right, thank you for joining us for another episode. And in case you didn't get that, it's the legaldepartment.law that you can reach out for free resources or to reach out to someone at the legal department. And we'll see you next time on Buzz TV.